Welcome, everyone, to today's deep dive. We're looking into something pretty interesting, potentially a new frontier for the internet, Microsoft NLWeb. Imagine, right, instead of all the endless clicking and scrolling we do on websites, you could simply, well, talk to it. And I mean, really talk, like a natural conversation. Picture this maybe. You're on your favorite local restaurant site, yeah, and you just ask it, okay, what vegetarian food do you have under $5 that I can get delivered tonight? And boom, instead of, digging through PDF menus or clicking 50 times, you get a straight intelligent answer. Availability, delivery times, all there. It's quite a vision, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And that's really the heart of NLWeb, the natural language web. It's designed to tackle that fundamental problem, right? How clunky it can be just finding specific info on sites now. But the game changer here, I think, is that NLWeb empowers the website owners themselves, lets them make their sites genuinely conversational. It gives the site a kind of deep understanding of its own content. And that's a big leap. It's quite distinct from how, most AI systems work currently. They often just crawl pages and sort of guess the content, inferring meaning. NLWeb, though, it aims to give the website the built-in smarts to actually know its own data.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then, because that difference feels really key. When you say NLWeb gives the website itself the intelligence, what does that actually mean, kind of under the hood? How is it different from, say, a really sophisticated chatbot or maybe a search engine's AI that's trying to understand the site from the outside?
Yeah, good question. That's where the real difference lies. See, unlike a typical chat bot, which is often like this separate thing, a layer trying to figure out user questions and then pull info from a basically static site in a web, aims to weave that natural language understanding right into the website's core. Think of it less like a bot sitting on a website and more like the website itself actually gaining a brain.
Oh,
So this means NLWeb can tap right into and interpret the site's structured data. Things like product lists, schedules, menu items, stuff that's organized so a computer can perfectly grasp it. So while a search engine might crawl a restaurant page and guess their veggie options from the text, an NL website would know. It knows exactly which dishes fit, the price, the availability, because that data is like fundamentally linked and understood by the system itself. It's kind of like the difference between reading a book about a database versus just asking the database directly.
Wow, okay. That is a powerful shift. So it's not just about understanding like simple questions. It's about the website having this deep, structured grasp of its own stuff. So what kind of uses does this open up? Beyond ordering food, I mean, where else could this really, change things for us online?
Oh, the possibilities are pretty vast, really. Imagine customer support on an e-commerce site. You could ask something like, show me all the red jackets, size medium, available for next day delivery that are also waterproof and under $100.
Right.
You're not just clicking filters there, you're asking a complex, multi-part question and ideally getting a precise answer back instantly. Or think about, say, educational platforms.
Yeah.
A student can maybe ask a really specific question about something in the course material and get a tailored explanation, maybe even interactive instead of just, a link to a page.
Yeah.
It's moving from just navigating around to actually having a dynamic interaction with the information itself.
That is incredible. It really does feel like moving from maybe a passive web to one that's much more active, more responsive. But okay, for website owners, what's involved in making this happen? Is it a huge job, a massive overhaul, or are there ways to kind of ease into these NLWeb capabilities?
Well, it definitely requires a focus on well-structured data. That's key. For NLWeb to know its content, that content needs to be organized and defined properly, so the system understands it. Often that means using existing standards, things like schema markup or knowledge graphs. So yes, it's an investment, but it's an investment that could unlock totally new ways for users to engage and boost efficiency too. It really pushes website owners to think about their data not just as something to like put on display, but as something to actually converse with.
Okay, so NLWeb isn't just another AI tool you slap on top. It sounds much more ambitious, like a fundamental attempt to change how we actually use websites, bridging that gap from the current, click and navigate web to something genuinely conversational, much more intelligent, built on understanding the information itself.
Exactly right. And what's really fascinating, I think, is that the future probably isn't about picking just one technology over another. It's more likely about smartly blending things like NLWeb with other specialized tools, maybe even traditional chatbots where they make sense. The web itself is evolving, kind of shifting from places we just go to conversations we have, making those connections smarter and maybe ultimately a bit more human.
That's a really powerful thought to end on. Thanks for walking us through that. And thank you, our listener, for joining us on this deep dive into Microsoft NLWeb. If you found this valuable, please do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you engage with our content. We appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.